Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 anime-influenced cartoons and animations.
For the honor of Grayskull!
You betrayed us!
You should have stayed dead.
It's me, Marco. See?
Marco?
Oh man, we have so much to catch up on. I've learned how to sword fight. I fought an army of wolf bears.
For this list, we're going to be looking at the animated programs that might not fall under the anime umbrella, but their visuals, stories, and tones draw obvious parallels. What's your favorite anime-influenced animation? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, you can catch me on Twitter at AshJBo, so head over there, give me a follow, and let me know which anime list you want to see next. Number 20, Invincible. Based on the celebrated comic book series, this adult animation has the old-school aesthetic of an 80s Saturday morning cartoon. Some of our favorite cartoons from that era were outsourced to Japanese animation studios. Toei Animation, for example, worked on G.I. Joe, the Transformers, as well as anime franchises like Dragon Ball. While Invincible was produced by Skybound, we can definitely sense Toei's influence in the animation and action, whether intentional or not. Seeing Omni-Man duke it out with the Immortal in the air, it's hard to not get Super Saiyan vibes.
You betrayed us!
You should have stayed dead.
Outside of Toei, Invincible shares parallels with the gritty Japanese superhero franchise One Punch Man. A character resembling Saitama even pops up in one episode, who creator Robert Kirkman dubbed Two Punch Man. Number 19, Star Wars Clone Wars. Long before anime was a mainstream juggernaut, Japanese cinema was already inspiring the legendary George Lucas. Fittingly, anime played a huge hand in shaping this 2D animated series. While the art direction stays true to the look of Star Wars, much of the imagery is also reminiscent of Akira or Neon Genesis Evangelion. Action is played out in that familiar anime style of quick cuts with minimal animated shots. Its emphasis on visual storytelling over corny dialogue is an added bonus, and we dare say that many of the lightsaber fights are some of the best you'll find in Western animation. Number 18, Over the Garden Wall.
What is your work exactly?
Everyone has a torch to burn, and this here is mine.
Borrowing elements from a variety of classics such as Grimm's fairy tales and The Wizard of Oz, the anime influence is also prevalent throughout this mini-series, particularly in terms of its bizarre characters and otherworldly atmosphere. Sometimes creepy, sometimes funny, and always unique, it often draws on the likes of Miyazaki's Spirited Away, forever walking that thin line between fantastical and haunting. The story has an ageless quality to it, one that will stick with you for some time, just like the Beast and all its shadowy splendor.
Beware the unknown! Fear the beast! And leave these woods, if you can.
Number 17, Jackie Chan Adventures.
Come and get it?
Given Jackie Chan's propensity for over-the-top action and mayhem, it's not surprising that the cartoon series based on him fits the anime formula. What is surprising, however, is how fun Jackie Chan Adventures truly is. The freedom to experiment with the medium goes a long way, with Jackie taking on everything from demons to dragons, while performing stunts worthy of the real-life Chan Man himself.
Oh! That will buff right out.
In what could have been a gimmick cashing in on Jackie Chan's brand name, the show turned out to be full of humor, adventure, and culture, with an animation style that made it really stand out. Number 16, Ben 10.
Oh man, I am gonna get so busted for this.
Is it any wonder why this spawned a massive franchise? It combines elements of several beloved anime series. The character designs are drawn in a similar fashion, from the wide, expressive eyes to the hair highlights, and lest we forget, the transformations. So many transformations. In Ben Tennyson's case, a device called the Omnitrix allows him to take the form of various different aliens. Each alien has a unique design and ability, calling Pokemon and Digimon to mind, though there's a fair amount of Naruto in there too, as far as its narrative goes. The Season 3 episode, Merry Christmas, even has 3 characters resembling Konohamaru, Moegi, and Udon. Those hairdos can't be purely coincidental, right? Number 15, Aeon Flux. Making its debut on MTV's Liquid Television, what started as a series of mini episodes eventually spawned a final season consisting of 10 half-hour episodes. This sci-fi series couldn't have arrived at a better time, as anime had begun to develop a niche market in the US. Creator Peter Chung has cited Japanese animation as one of his many influences, which is apparently through the show's cyberpunk style, dystopian setting, and badass anti-heroine. While adult action-oriented animation was already commonplace in Japan, Aeon Flux stood out as one of the earlier Western examples. Touching upon themes like sexuality, politics, and humanity, the series opened Americans up to a whole new world of animation. Number 14, Star vs. the Forces of Evil.
It's me, Marco. Marco? What are you doing here?
While many associate anime with action, this Disney series taps into the off-the-wall humor found in Eastern animation. That said, any show with verses in the title is bound to have a little fighting, and Star Butterfly could go head-to-head with some of the strongest magical girls. Creator Darren Nefsey initially envisioned Star as a young girl whose universe revolves around Sailor Moon. Marco, meanwhile, would be all about Dragon Ball Z.
I don't think I'm coming back. Turns out I really like my new life here. I got my sword, my dragon cycle, I get to ride around all day and go on adventures whenever I want.
The concept eventually evolved into a unique magical girl show, also borrowing from the likes of shows such as Magic Knight Rayearth. Growing up, Nefsey always wanted to see more female action heroes in animation, but rarely found any outside of Japanese entertainment. So Nefsey took action into her own hands, and just look at the results. Number 13, Voltron, Legendary Defender. The Voltron franchise is no stranger to anime. The original Voltron series borrowed animation from the mecha anime Beast King Go Lion, altering character names, plot points, and dialogue. The similar-themed yet unrelated Armored Fleet Daruga 15 was edited for later Voltron episodes. Legendary Defender doesn't recycle animation from pre-existing shows, but this reboot doesn't shy away from its anime roots. While the series takes inspiration from the past, it also looks to the future by giving Voltron a CGI update that blends well with the more traditionally animated characters and backdrops. It's also nailed that anime trope of starting shipping wars that spill over into social media like wildfire. Number 12, Shira and the Princesses of Power.
For the honor of Grayskull!
An exceptional Netflix reboot, this new Shira delves even deeper into the magical girl trope than its 1985 predecessor. In addition to Dungeons & Dragons, developer Noelle Stevenson and her crew were heavily influenced by Japanese animation. Shira assembles a primarily female ensemble worthy of comparison to the Sailor Scouts, with all the transformation sequences to match. The series has also been another milestone for LGBTQ+ representation in children's animation, a concept that's newer to Western audiences but has been present in the anime realm for some time. Number 11, Kim Possible.
Never be normal! That's the raw unstoppable motto. Kim? KP? Kim Possible?
When you think of energetic, over-the-top action mixed with high school drama, you're probably thinking of your average anime. It only makes sense that Kim Possible, a cartoon about a crime-fighting cheerleader, is gonna have anime influences. The parallels between this hit Disney show and its Japanese counterparts are right out there in the open, especially when considering its charismatic lead. Premiering when most women in action shows were supporting characters, Kim Possible was a strong, independent heroine helping Western culture tear down gender barriers and raising the bar for all who followed her.
Told you graduation wasn't the end of the world.
Number 10, Ruby. Just taking one glance at any moment from this web series, you can immediately see the anime influence. Ruby could easily be mistaken for a Japanese role-playing game, what with its toon-shaded aesthetic. That along with a million other tropes such as power systems, a school for hunters, fantastical lore, and crazy-ass weapons. According to Lindsay Jones, the voice of Ruby Rose, the crew was worried about how people would respond to a Western production adopting a Japanese style. Given how many are still debating whether or not it's anime, along with its presence on Crunchyroll, we'd say it hit its goal.
You are in so much trouble when I find you.
Number 9, Castlevania. This adult animated Netflix series is based on the video game series of the same name. Since publisher Konami is a Japanese company, it only makes sense that the show would take on an anime style. Growing up in Hong Kong, series developer Adi Shankar was obsessed with the anime aesthetic. He shared this love with Sam Dietz, who directed a majority of the show's episodes. The look of the series was inspired by Ayami Kojima's work on Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The crew also drew from Cowboy Bebop, Berserk, Ninja Scroll, Captain Harlock, and the films of Satoshi Kon.
Go back. Back to Griffith.
Castlevania is especially reminiscent of Vampire Hunter D, which is fitting, seeing how much of the same team worked on the 2000 feature Bloodlust. Number 8, The Dragon Prince.
The Dragon Prince lives! and he's very cute.
You might notice a few similarities between The Dragon Prince and another anime-influenced series all about manipulating the elements. The parallels aren't coincidental, as both shows have a few talents in common, including its head writer, director, and an actor.
Something so strangely familiar. Boomerang?
However, Ahaz and his fellow co-creator Justin Richmond have crafted a world, mythology, and story that put Dragon Prince in a league of its own. The setting and culture aren't as Asia-centric, leaning more towards medieval Europe, but the show's animation style and mature themes certainly carry an anime vibe. We could also imagine any of the show's dragons holding their own against Shenron. For fans of high fantasy anime in particular, this daytime Emmy-winning series is a must binge. Number 7, Kippo and the Age of Wonder Beasts.
And I know what you're thinking. Humans and mutes? Crazy. But I say, peace between the species. Right?
Once a webcomic, now a modern powerhouse of Western animation. Creator Secrist has described himself as a huge anime fan, which shines through in his work. Series art director Angela Sung cited Ghost in the Shell and Akira as two of the inspirations for the show's immersive layout work. Kippo's post-apocalyptic world is populated by inventive creatures, some intimidating like a titan, others adorable like Pikachu, and a few that are a bit of both. Like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, the music plays a key role in establishing the atmosphere. Then there's Kippo herself, who, in the same spirit of Goku and Vash the Stampede, instantly wins the audience over with her unshakable optimism.
He also shoots lasers from his eyes and puts out fires with his tears.
Number 6, Batman the Animated Series. DC animated shows have seemingly adapted a more anime-esque look with each new iteration, from its character models to its action scenes. Although not blatant in its anime influences, Batman the Animated Series was arguably the first DC show to take a page from Japan.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Its dark tone, exceptional choreography, and stylistic backdrops have anime written all over them. Interestingly, the Art Deco design of Batman would go on to impact anime like Cowboy Bebop and The Big O. Number 5, The Legend of Korra.
I'm the Avatar! You gotta deal with it!
A sequel series to another anime-influenced show that may or may not appear later, Korra continued the Avatar mythos in all the right ways. Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko not only brought their wonderful Eastern-inspired world into the future, but delved further into the Avatar origins too.
Got an idea about who I am now, chumps?
Korra maintained everything that made its predecessor terrific, while also distinguishing itself with political drama. Being a Nickelodeon series, Korra may have been too sophisticated for its own good, and behind-the-scenes issues certainly stumped its rise to equaling Aang's adventures. Still, at least its legacy will live on for all the right reasons. Number 4, Samurai Jack.
The mist is full of demons. Our coup is near.
Between Dexter's Lab and Primal, Gendy Tartakovsky developed his ultimate love letter to anime with Samurai Jack. Every episode is a perfect blend of ancient tale meets futuristic space opera, amounting to a new kind of fable. Much of the show's appeal derives from the animation itself, which often plays an even greater hand in moving the story along than the writing and dialogue.
For years of hard work, we have rebuilt our glorious past, with hopes never to encounter such an evil as Aku again.
Samurai Jack owes a lot of its success to the art and mood of various anime, not to mention the films of Akira Kurosawa. Of course, Tartakovsky also gave the show its own original signature through playful humor and larger-than-life characters. Respect the Scotsman.
They must be free.
Aye, free, and we'll take them together.
Number 3, The Boondocks.
Granddad, I do not sip tea with the enemy. You can force me to go, but you cannot force me to be someone I'm not.
From cartoonist Aaron McGruber, The Boondocks draws a lot of its influence from Samurai Champloo, except instead of wandering samurais, our protagonists are 2 African-American brothers and their grandfather living in a white suburban community. You wouldn't think that anime and hip-hop would ever go hand in hand, but this melting pot is surprisingly fitting for a show that's largely about culture clash.
Ronald Wilson Reagan? Each of his names has 6 letters? 666? Man, doesn't that offend you?
I love this kid.
The Boondocks even squeezes in some intense and thrilling action sequences that are undeniably anime. Goes to show anime can lend itself to any genre, including piercing satire with strong social commentary.
Wait a minute. I'm white.
Where you going? Don't you ignore me. This is a perfectly good moment to throw your life away.
Number 2, Teen Titans.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
Aside from putting the spotlight on 5 heroes that are typically regarded as sidekicks, Teen Titans is one of the most distinctive DC animations for its self-aware anime twist. The exaggerated visual style is always effective here, whether an episode is mainly played for laughs or centering on a character's emotional turmoil. It additionally works magnificently from an action standpoint, with the combat consistently being vibrant, speedy, and thrilling.
Red X works alone.
This interpretation proved so successful that it's now actually hard to picture the Teen Titans without its anime aesthetic. Before we unveil our top pick, here's some honorable mentions. OK KO, Let's Be Heroes. Even the title sounds like an anime.
Lovely boat, Billy Willy.
You brought Boxman as your +1? You know he's just a joke villain. He builds little toy robots.
Code Lyoko, for fans of Sword Art Online and Digimon.
virtualization.
The Owl House, for fans of Little Witch Academia.
You've always looked down on me because I'm wild, but fortunately, that just made me work harder than you.
Infinity Train, not since Spirited Away have we wanted to get on a train more. Totally Spies, anime goes undercover.
Okay, that didn't work. Hey, where do you Neanderthals think you're going?
I'm thinking it's Grand Finale time.
Let's not stick around to find out.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just as Aang was charged with maintaining harmony between the 4 nations, Avatar: The Last Airbender found the perfect balance between Eastern animation and Western appeal. Everything from its art direction, creative use of martial arts, to its spiritual themes all scream anime.
I'm never gonna firebend again. I can't.
You will never find balance if you deny this part of your life.
Even if you're not a die-hard fan of the medium, this is a masterful piece of animation worth watching for its exceptional characters and the way in which it incorporates the art of bending into its fight scenes. It's such a phenomenon that the Avatar's antics have undoubtedly inspired several other shows along the way, both cartoon and alike. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.